I did get a Miller High Life clock. This is one from, I believe, 1957 or 58. Works, lights up. It's got this really cool centerpiece divider that I've never seen on any of them. It's always been broken off. Paid $100. That's going to be a good one. The Crazy Picker Life with Wheeler, Dealer, and Banana Peeler. Good morning, fellow pickers, would-be adventurers. This is Dealer with the Crazy Picker Life. And we're at about 7:02 a.m. on Tuesday morning. I just got myself out of bed and had my morning water, had my vitamins, and threw myself in the van. No, I'm not going picking this morning, although I feel pretty fresh. If there was a deal to be had, Dealer would go. I don't know of any this morning other than this refrigerator door. If you can look back there beyond it, there is the old refrigerator. Now you can imagine in Dealer's house, there's some food going on. We've got 6 growing children. My wife is beautiful thin, although she used to be able to out-eat me, which is something, because I'm a pretty good eater. But you can imagine that this fridge has been through the ringer. Now when Dealer and Lon were dating and got married and had corporate incomes and big corporate fancy pantsy dreams and all that kind of garbage, we bought all kinds of nice stuff, you know, like fancy stuff and show stuff and the latest and greatest and all that stuff. And then, you know, it's fun, but you start having kids and you get down to the reality of having to clean stuff all the time and having to keep everything repaired and shiny and do all the yard farming. And you know, you keep having kids and you realize all that wear and tear, you need some things that can take it. And so this next time around, when we moved out to Kansas 10 years ago, I was like, all right, we're gonna keep our old couch and we're gonna get this old sturdy fridge, and we're not gonna, you know, have the fancy landscaping and lawn right now and all that kind of stuff. And it's been a lot less stress, but it is nice to have nice stuff. And as far as this fridge is concerned, we wore it out. We stretched it out, wore it out, broke the handles off, clapped the hinges out a little bit, the seals, and it was time for a bigger one, and it was time for a little nicer one. Oh boy, this construction is tough on fridges. So this morning, Dealer's taking the first step in getting this fridge, the old one, out to pasture. And by out to pasture, I mean it's going to go into my shop and be filled with snacks and fruit juices, and of course, once in a while, some beer. And maybe a energy drink or something once in a blue moon, maybe a blue moon. So, feeling energetic this morning. I'm going to do a couple other things, and then before I go home and have breakfast and meet with the family and all that kind of good stuff, see Lon off to work, I'm going to pull this thing out of here and put it one step closer to its final spot in the biz. Have a good morning, and on with my day. Hey Sam, how's that new chair? You're in the second tier seating, huh? And then up here is the first tier seating. It's just and Benjamin. Jacob's hacking the TV. Kate's doing her thing. School's coming, kids. What do you think?
Good, bad.
Got one vote for bad, one vote for good.
And it's my birthday, I'm going to be 5 and I'm going to be in kindergarten.
You're going to be in kindergarten in 2 weeks.
Yeah. But in 2 weeks is to be my birthday.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Do you know when your birthday is?
Yeah.
When?
In 2 weeks.
Oh, I'm going to have to look on the calendar. I forget. How about you, first grader?
Mm-hmm.
Man.
Might be 6 this year. Do you even got a calendar?
Yeah, I've got lots of calendars. I just don't know where they are.
Well, at least you still have one.
I should check it out, shouldn't I?
Yeah.
Okay, just checking in on you guys. School's coming.
Mm-hmm.
Jacob's coming in tonight to vacuum our floor. It's terrible.
Yeah, you do have one.
Yeah.
What have we here?
Okay, got a stack of 3 returns that I've already refunded, and when you go on vacation, that's a problem. Sometimes things come back in 3s, it seems like. There's 3 returns I refunded without looking at them, so don't know what's going to be in there. And then I'm finishing up my orders today. It's right around noon. Got to get those out. Keep forgetting to film anything because I'm getting back in the groove. Getting back in the groove. All right, so it's just afternoon here. I guess it's approaching 1 o'clock. I'm just taking a short break from packing. Here's what I got to get all spread out on the table so we can look at it and pack it away and make sure everything's in good shape and get Wheeler some good stuff to list. I got plenty to list in the other room yet, but tonight we're gonna spread this out and show it off. Right now it's all in raw form. I never thought I would get all bundled up in here, but I think it's about time for the Jeep top to go back on, and I got to relocate the I've got to locate the freezer, the new freezer back here somewhere. Get the van seats back in the van. Get the fridge out of the other room. Start getting this workout center in place for fall so I can stop feeling sluggy and knocking on my wall over there. But the other thing that's going to happen is, here's the fridge. Moved it in here. The other thing that's going to happen, I don't like this rolling cart here. It's just too big. So unfortunately, rolling cart's going to go to the other room, and that'll be all right too. I like my beer wall here, and I would like to be able to shoot some videos in here. And right now, the way this thing is, it becomes a dump all room, which is okay. But with this thing in here, I can't even get to my water supply in there. I can't get to my back room. Can't get to my beer wall, can't get to my chairs. Pretty soon I won't even be able to get through here. So, constant change. That's how it works.
No, I can't have
What are you
a
doing?
mind blow.
Are you alright? Okay, big items going today. Big sign long thing. And what is that? Oh, Star Trek framed glass picture. Some other goober. 3 UPS later, I'll take those. And it's bright and 100 degrees out. And this is still some stuff blow over from yesterday and whatever, but counted them here. There's another 18 here, so 21 going out today. Back in the Jeep. Wheeler's here. He says he's totally gone. He's having a mental
Feeling pretty good today, except for that.
lapse because of the trip. Still recovering. The life of a teenager has to sleep it in, right?
Ah,
Sleep it off.
ah.
Well, you're a growing young man, and I understand. I've been there. I used to like to sleep till noon. Okay, back in the Jeep on the UPS yes, USPS. There you go. That looks like Banana Peeler loaded this. What'd you do, Banana Peeler? You don't even fit in the Jeep. Man, I'm stretching the limits of UPS here. Bought all these big things. Of course, we got somebody. All you gotta do is hang up a sign. Whoa, you're the same color as the Jeep. All you gotta do is hang up a sign. That's my new motto, and then it sells. I hung up that key sign. That key sign has been for sale for a long time, like a year. And all I had to do was hang it up, and I got a bid on it for somebody wants to buy it for $525 plus shipping, which is right in the realm of where I would sell it for, since I bought it for $300, I think. That guy back there.
Yeah, somebody said he likes your antics in the back seat there.
Yeah. So all you gotta do is hang a sign up, and then it sells. And that one is gonna ship bad. That one's too big. I don't know if I'm gonna even be able to ship it. Somebody wants it in Utah. So.
Trade it? How does that work?
Well, we'll have to see. I've got to do some calculations. Okay, let's see if we can make it there without losing our load here. All right, so I'm going to give you a general overview of everything that we bought in Wisconsin this time. We only had a couple full days of picking. We had probably 2 half days and then a couple hours a day most days, or something like that. So I did get this office jet. I showed that in one of the videos. It's new in box. And I got these Halliburton aluminum based high-end suitcases. If you haven't ever looked those up, some of those go pretty good. Otherwise, I'll just give you a quick overview, and then I've got Wheeler here with me. He's going to point out a few things that he thinks are interesting, and I'll probably ask him some questions. We did pretty good on the cameras.
Yeah.
We didn't buy any big lots or anything. We just pretty much picked and choose. Flower destemmer back there, defluer, lots of models, some hats, and some lightning ball topper deals. Okay, I'll just start down here and just give a little narration, and I'll pull up on Wheeler down there. I did get a Miller High Life clock. This is one from, I believe, 1957 or 58. Works, lights up. It's got this really cool centerpiece divider that I've never seen on any of them. It's always been broken off. Paid $100. That's going to be a good one. I like to pick up vintage calculators. A lot of them have good resale. This is the Wheeler Dealer car. Couldn't pass that up. Probably not worth a whole lot, just obviously Wheeler Dealer. This is kind of a neat display. I like all the advertising, and camera had good advertising, so just a little piece of display material. Somebody will put that up in their camera room. Schlitz Monkey, never seen one, gotta get it. Like Schlitz stuff. Some sort of a Bulova clock thing from the 70s or 80s that Wheeler picked up. He says it's good.
Any clock persons are watching, if you can tell us more about that one. Can't find a lot.
Yeah. Sealed Sony Walkman, sealed stuff in Sony. Vintage is always good. Certain calculators are good. Most of you guys know about the Texas Instruments, TI 85, 86, all that stuff. Lots of models. Here's a Magellan. I do alright with those if I can get them at the price. This is one of my favorites. This is a Baja Bug. The guts are missing for the most part. This is a gas-powered radio-controlled car. Can't find them very often. I drooled over this when I was too young for radio-controlled stuff, and I ended up getting a a battery powered one, and so I never got one of these when I was a kid in the early 70s, but I always drooled over it. So here's that. I paid up a little bit. It's gonna still be a doubler. I paid, I think, 40. Even without the guts in it, it's still gonna be $100 seller, I think. That's a remake TIE Fighter, still goes for good money. Most of the models I have here are either sealed, original shrink, or all the pieces are in them. And some of these never had shrink, some of the older ones. At least that's my hunch. I don't get much for mugs, but these are kind of specialty hams from 1973. Got for a couple bucks. Lightning balls. I guess there's, somebody mentioned there's remakes or fakes. These are not fakes from what I can tell. These are the bread and butter ones. I'll show the good ones in a minute. I paid up for these, but I knew where they were, and I went back a second time and really wanted to buy them. I think I'm going to do real well on those. These are the better ones. I haven't looked them up yet, but in starting to look at more and more of these, the odd colors and patterns can be real big bucks. And by big bucks, I mean $100 or more dollars. Some of these, not these necessarily, but some I've seen sell $300, $400, $500. This one's pretty cool. It has writing on it, Lincoln, Nebraska. This one as well, Iowa. Remains to be seen, but I think this is going to be a good box. Let's see, a couple more things I'll talk about. We did pick up a movie projector. It appears new in box. Otherwise, we wouldn't pick it up because there's just too many problems. I did pick up a flower stemmer. Looks like it's in good shape. Okay, Wheeler, tell us a couple of things that we got here that you like. Let me ask you a question. How has our camera buying changed? And I guess I'm going to lead the question a little bit. We used to buy lots of cameras, and by lots, I mean if there was 20 cameras, we'd buy all 20. We don't do that as much anymore.
Yeah. And one thing I can add just from this table alone, just the camera stuff here, right now I'm seeing 0 throwout or lot up pieces, which is, that shows to what we're choosing, and also the average price on this table is quite high.
We used to throw out
a lot of stuff we pick up.
We used to throw out a lot more. We used to find a lot more broken stuff.
Yep.
Smoky stuff, musty stuff, cheaper stuff.
There's a little bit of stuff here that's smoky, but
so we'll let it air out back here. We've got an air purifier back here that does two things. It kind of destinks things, and it also wrecks all the rubber. So that's a bad side to it.
Gotta get resin watch bands.
We've did a video pretty much on the FLIR. Is that what it is? FLIR.
Yeah, I'm told that's the.
And tested it all out. It seems to work perfectly. This is probably our biggest score of the trip. We spent over $1,000, and there may be as much as 3,000.
Also, I haven't looked yet if that's an extension lens or not. I think it may be. So.
Which could add. There's a number of bonuses in there, including the original case and
I could add as much as $500 to $700.
Yeah.
Possibly.
So what else is a score here, or do you want to talk about?
Well, score, this thing here, the Excelsior, we actually vlogged on this a little bit in the vlog. We're at that one antique place. Lens on there turned out to be quite a interesting lens. Don't have quite a price estimate yet, but it's a $500 to $1,000 lens. It's not a cheapie like I was thinking it might be. You just never know.
Now, a lens like on this other one was made for magic lanterns, right?
Yes.
It doesn't have the ability to work as a camera like a shutter.
Yeah.
And so
it doesn't have an aperture on it, which is an opening, closing.
Okay.
That gets lighter and darker is what.
So this is just kind of like a dummy straight lens, like a microscope.
Pretty much.
And because it's a brass lens, it's going to have value. We've probably purchased 30 or 40 of these brass, of these magic lanterns now to kind of figure out what to look for.
Yep.
What price we can buy them in and all that. Now this one you said had an aperture. Show that again.
Well, you can't really see it because you can't look through the front of the lens.
Well, you
but
can see that part of it.
Yeah,
moving.
when you adjust the switch here, there's like a multi-leaved thing that opens and closes. That's about
right. That was an actual camera lens at one point.
Yep.
Most likely.
It was.
from the late 1800s, early 1900s.
1870s to 1890s. It's actually quite an early camera.
And so somebody took that and mounted it on this thing because that's what they had,
possibly from the factory even,
or they wanted an upgrade, or whatever. Things were more random.
Yeah,
then.
That's what I call it, because a camera store was producing these things in the back room. They'd make the metal parts, they'd make that, and then any lenses they had on stock that were either used or 20 years old, 30 years old, like this one was at the time.
Right.
They're probably like, oh, we have this camera over here that needs repair. Right. It's going to cost too much to repair. Instead, let's bring the lens and put it on here and then sell the Magic Lantern for
right. It could have been a trade-in or whatever.
Exactly.
So the bottom line is somebody will want that lens to use on a camera.
Yep. The brand on it is Rochester Optical Company, and the camera is the Excelsior number 4, I'd assume, but that might be the lens number also. But Rochester Optical Company actually was bought by Kodak in the late 1890s.
There's a cult following for some of that.
Earlier Kodak stuff is quite
So
desirable.
We paid like less than $50 for this one over here, and we paid $150 or $140 for that one.
Yep.
And so you can get over we've paid up to $300-400 for some of those, with like some of them have like serious crazy lenses.
The bigger the better as far as lenses go, and also optical makeup, which it's hard to determine. Like this one, I'm 90% positive it's a Petzval, even though it's not marked anywhere on it, and that's the optical formula to look for. It's kind of difficult to figure that out though, unless you take it all apart. And
we could probably do a 5 or 10 hour video on that, just because there's so many differences. The people that are after those like a cult following, and it's like their thing, and so we're on the edge of that thing when we buy them. So what else do you have here?
We have 4 Dianas back there, which is kind of filmography cameras. Those are just kind of interesting bread and butter. We don't get those very often. To pick up 5 with the boxes in the same place, it's kind of odd. A cool Rapid Omega, I always like those.
It's in really good condition.
This camera here, I must have been kind of out of that day. I could not read this name on here, and I could, but I read it totally different. I forget why I read it, but it's Ernieman, which actually I recognize the brand now. Ernieman Chronos, never seen one, so only in Germany.
We had an Ernieman.
We have one.
Movie camera, I thought.
It wasn't a movie camera. We have a folding bed camera. It may still be listed, but we had that for 2 years or something. I finally fixed it because it was all.
So we'll have to have that one. For
that
2
one's
years.
really cool. Now that one's probably.
Okay, show me some other good stuff here.
Some Agfas here. One thing we have here is an Argus C4, but it's actually the newer model with rapid wind, rapid rewind, and it has some extra features on there. They've made very few of those. So
we don't go out of our way
for
Arguses anymore, but there are a few middle or high-end ones. Is that what that is?
There's variations. This one's a late Argus C4, which I think they made 200,000, let's say, and they made 15,000 or 20,000 on that one.
Tell me about that SLR 680 SE down there. That doesn't seem to open right.
It seems to open fine. That's how it is.
Is that how it is?
That's how it is.
Huh.
Yep, this looks kind of funky. This was to prevent glare, so you didn't have lens hood or whatever on there.
That's pretty, as far as instant film cameras, that's right up there.
Yeah. That one's a bit smoky. But anyway, SLR 680 SE, I believe it's within the top 3 best folding models like that. So that one is probably a big score, depending if it works or not. Yeah. 150 not working, say 300 and up working.
So if it's not working, somebody can rework it. There's places that will rework those.
Yep.
And if it is working, it may still need a going through.
Yep. There's a whole bunch of other interesting items in here. A pretty mismatched Nikon F. We have this lens on here. This is one of those lenses that's most people wouldn't know, but that's a score. The 1.4 marking makes it that.
Yeah, and a lot of people will price cameras based on the camera, or the lenses sometimes are confusing, the pro level versus the regular level.
They look very similar.
Yeah, it's really hard for anybody that's non-camera to buy cameras effectively, and certainly sell them or list them. Tell us about the Robot piece.
Robot is a very interesting German company. They actually made clocks from the 1930s, and they started putting clockwork motors in cameras around that time. This piece we picked up for very little. It's actually a Sagib. This is
bucks.
Yeah, a couple bucks. And this is, I'm unsure exactly what works. It's some sort of motor, I have a feeling.
Now, people who collect robots will pay what for a robot camera? Hundreds, if not thousands,
exactly.
Right?
Yep.
And so that piece right there, being that it's a robot piece, could be super rare. It could be somewhat rare. Definitely going to be a desirable piece.
100 and up, probably. Right at 100, worst case.
Now that over there is going to fall right off. Yeah, you just shouldn't put something on the corner like that.
Yep.
I don't want to discipline you right here on camera, but we've dropped how many cameras in our lives? Less than one?
Yeah, a few.
Yeah.
Very few.
So don't perch something on the corner. Unless you don't want to see it again.
Yeah, some odd designed Bolex here. Some
Yeah.
funky with the manual and everything.
Well, it'll be funky. What I like about it is it's got some of the weird accessories, the hand strap and accessories. And so
Rails and
typically, even if the camera doesn't work or it is not that desirable, in this case, Bolex, you can make your money up with the accessories for sure.
Yeah, so we actually picked up 3 or 4 cameras from this guy. He had some really oddball. This is an Elmo, I believe, a Honeywell Elmo, but it's a model I haven't seen. Same with that one.
Yeah, and then this big
And then
weird
that one there,
What,
which is
don't
a-
take it out, but what was the weird thing? This can actually play
Yeah,
the movies back.
The projector bulb goes in there, so it's a projector / camera.
Projector
Which they've made those
/
through the
camera.
ages, but this one in particular is a
Yeah,
collectible.
we had to actually kind of fix it and put it back together right there to make
Yeah.
sure that we wanted to buy it.
We got a Speedioscope, Society for Visual Education, Chicago, USA shutter / aperture unit. I believe this was used for education. The rare thing about it, first of all, is this flange, which was a later addition. I've only had one before, and it didn't have the flange on it, though I've seen them.
Case
And it has a case. That's the big deal there.
with the white simulated rabbit fur or probably wolf fur.
Yeah, possibly real. Who knows?
Yeah.
We got an OM1 in black. That one's really neat. The eye cup on there is actually $20. That's a rare,
So here's
super padded eye cup.
Here's an interesting thing about cameras. We'll give this out. We don't like to give all our camera secrets out.
Yep.
But black-bodied cameras, for the most part, older ones, are a bump.
Yeah, some were only made in black, like the newer ones for sure, but the older black ones, that and older.
So, for example,
Sure.
this was OM1. The guy had 3 silver OM1s to 1 black OM1. Is that probably the ratio that's out there?
Well, for the OM1, I'd say it's probably 1 to 25,
Right.
so it's pretty light.
And that's why the black ones will go for a bump. Some
Yeah,
people want
and
to
it
just
definitely
collect
depending on the
those.
camera. Like Nikon F, this prism in silver would probably be $65 to $100. If it's working in black, it's probably $250, $200 to $250.
So
So it's
four
just
times.
it's unfortunate the body is in black because black body Nikon Fs they can go for anywhere between 400 and 1,000. They're crazy rare.
Now this is kind of neat. We already talked about it in the other vlog. It says E47, and if you read through all the tags on there, this is like one case out of 200 that some film crew took with them on location
Yeah.
back in the 20s, 30s, 40s.
Yeah, probably 40s or 50s. It's electronic and it's pretty advanced, so I'd say probably 40s or 50s.
And there's some things in there that
May
are
have been used as late as the
Pretty-
60s or
pretty
70s. They
desirable.
use all that stuff.
What's
for a
a
long time.
silver tube here? That looks like something good.
Yeah, this lens here.
Yeah.
This is actually an odd version. They made the 4.5. They made a lot of those. The 3.8 is a rare one. So that's the thing. It came off one of these cameras here. I'm not entirely
Oh,
sure.
really?
That one right there.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Came off that camera.
Which is a
By Exacta.
what's that other word? With a Dresden?
It's pronounced Ihagi Dresden, even though they put a J there. I don't know exactly what the translation there is. So
Okay.
one last note on the black Nikon Fs. I was said like 1 to 25 on the OM1s. Black Nikon Fs, especially early on, were almost like 1 to 1,000. They were really,
Yeah.
it was quite a crazy ratio.
Wasn't that camera that we've listed way up there in the 2,000 plus range? Wasn't that a Nikon F?
Yeah. Wasn't a
And-
black body.
And we've looked up. No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
But like in the first 1,000
Mm-hmm.
Nikon Fs, there's probably 2 or 3 black ones,
Yeah, that's about it.
and they go for like 10 grand.
In the first
plus.
1,000, there probably only one. That's
Yeah.
because I think there's
Mega
one
dollars.
there's one that's number 4,000 in poor shape, and it sold for right around $3,000.
Right.
So it was, yeah, they're very rare.
Okay, so this is a good score for us.
Yeah, like I said, the average number here is very high. I have to say 60 or 70 per piece. It's very.
Yeah.
Just looking it over, I'm surprised how it's quite a.
I bet it's at least 70 or even 80.
Yeah.
It depends what you want to add. I mean,
Exactly.
you start removing lenses like that,
Mm-hmm.
and there's 3 pieces in here
Oh
that
yeah, if you
are
had the FLIR in
big
there,
money,
just- yeah.
and the I Omega.
Just the average price here. I see nothing like this thing here. That's like $30 or $40 or something.
Yeah.
And we got a deal on that. Let's see where's something else cheap. This one, C44 is about 45.
Yeah.
Little zoom lenses throw out. This one's lot up.
Right.
So there's a couple pieces, but
We've
for the
been
most part,
trying.
it's
We've
all
been trying really hard to
Fine,
raise our
singles.
dollar per item and not just buy everything.
Yep.
My dollar per item here is probably going to be in that same $60 to $80 average range, just because I really, maybe hats excluded.
What a long video going here.
It is. I also putties.
Talking a bit too much.
Yeah, you gonna edit that out? Talking a bit too much. We just spent 18 minutes. We just spent 17 of them on your cameras.
That's what I'm saying. I'm talking.
Oh, you're talking too much.
No, that's what I'm saying. No, I'm saying I'm talking too much, man. I'm really.
I want to show off my brewer can
I'm in camera mode,
holder
man.
here, and then I also got. Where's my other one? Oh, there we go. My Packer ones. I'm gonna have to probably give
Another side of the Miller Lite too.
probably give Lon, my wife, one of those, but 10 cents each. That's great. Lot up stuff for banana peeler. Same with these hats. I'm gonna have him come back here and get these hats and see if he can break some of these lightning bolts. By the way, these I paid I think $12 each, and probably will sell for 30, 35 each, and I'll probably lot a few of them up. Okay, I think that's it. Yes, this is a long video.
Yep.
Would you like to send us off?
That's about it. What else do I say? Like, comment, subscribe. Was the end?
This is the end.
Okay, well, like, comment, subscribe, and keep watching.
We do a daily vlog, so join us tomorrow.
Yep.
All right, this is Dealer behind the super camera, which is my iPhone.
Yep.
Still haven't moved over to my super camera.
He bought a super camera and doesn't even use it.
Wheeler scolded me. He said, your new camera is still in the box after 10 days. You haven't
I'm
even
saying,
opened
he almost bought it in like the pre-order stage. He got really lucky and got one early on, and he's not even using it. So
I'm probably going to
Pretty
keep it
cool.
in the box, and somebody 40
Collectible.
years from now will pick me, and I won't be around, but
Yep.
they'll pick my camera and they'll be like, oh, new in box for only $7,000? Oh.
Woo. What's up?
Okay, thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yep. Hey, Wheeler.
Dealer Production.